Yes, people. Welcome back to Premsy TV. It's another transfer talk show, and we got a special guest in the building, Statman Baines, Manchester United fan. How you doing? Talk to me. Are you good?
I'm
First time
I'm
we're linking up, bro.
I'm good. I'm good. Obviously, we could have had a couple more signings in, or any signing, because we got rejected by a Derby kid today. He's joining
You
Crystal Palace now. So Malcolm, he's an 18-year-old. He probably would have been for the academy, but we'll see what
don't
happens in
lie.
it.
I'm hearing that some kids been listening to Van Galen's turned his back on you as
Mm,
well. What's his name? Jurian Timber or
Timber.
something like that.
I said this as much as I wanted him, because Ten Hag did said he sees him as a potential leader and stuff, and obviously we need leaders. But I said this: if you're 20 or 21, I think he's now, you're starting for Holland right now in the World Cup. If you
Mm,
continue play, why then take the risk? Join Manchester United, settle in. Because listen, you have to bank straight away, kind of thing. Because the World Cup's in December. It's a
yeah.
massive risk. So I can always understand why a player wants to stay. And I've always said this: he's 21. I think the only centre back his age or younger that's starting week in week out in the Premier League is Gray
Yeah.
for Palace. So he's a massive risk. And I'm like, as much as like obviously it's annoying, I would always understand why.
I want to touch on one player that I know you love, Cristiano Ronaldo, because I've been reading reports that George Mendes has been offering him out to Juventus. How do you feel about that, bro?
I've said this. Oh, you know what the Ronaldo thing? I don't think he leaves, but I think everyone knows how powerful Cristiano Ronaldo is for
Mm,
the financial side of the club. George Mendes probably knows United are not hurrying up with the transfers. Let me just act like I'm offering Ronaldo out.
mm.
And the club have to fix up because the report was that Ronaldo wants to win trophies. He wants an elite side to win trophies.
Do you
But
not
if
think
United,
he's getting pissed off though, looking around, thinking, Ras, half of these men need to go. Yeah,
mm,
we're being linked to players. Yeah, fair enough, Frankie De Jong, but like Christian Eriksen, he's being there, he's seeing it. Are these players that you want to be linked to? Because, or do you think they're players that he thinks, right, this is we're going to improve the squad, and he might be pushing for a move himself?
I don't think Ronaldo has a problem with the players who be linked to because I said it with Ericsson. Ericsson's worked with Ten Hag before because when he had the heart thing, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
he
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
train in Italy in it, so I think he trained with Ajax for a bit.
Okay.
And I think Christian Eriksen might have been I think Christian Eriksen might have been a former Ajax player and stuff as well, isn't it? So
Yeah.
obviously, in terms of that technical ability side of it, he has it, which is why I'm like, I'm fine with the Christian Eriksen link. Like I said this as well. We lost Juan Mata, we lost Jesse, we lost Paul Pogba. We're gonna need midfielders. And getting someone like Eriksen on the free, who's performed at a very good level in the Premier League now last year,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with it in my eyes.
So you excited with Ten Hag coming in? So for people that don't know much about Eric Ten Hag, because I'll be honest, I've seen bits of him. I've watched him in the Champions League and bits and bobs, but I don't really know him in depth. I know he's an attacking style manager. He likes youth, all of that. But what can we expect from him, or what are you expecting more than anything as a United fan? Are you expecting him to come in and just hit the ground running,
Nah.
or you see it, or do you know that there's a process that needs to get built? And you're
I,
willing to give him that time?
I spoke with Ajax fans a couple of weeks ago, and even they said, like, obviously, Ajax, when you first went there, he had to kind of settle in himself as well. The
Yeah.
first 2 to 3 months, they were saying weren't the best. So I think I've always said this is a process with United. Like, people need to realize we can't just continue with these stopgap managers. Let's try to build something. We got a manager that we can build something within Ten Hag. Like I said this, he's our best. He's a better training ground coach than people like Jose and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So in terms of even if we don't sign anyone, our players should look better because he's a better coach.
Mm. Understandable.
So we only have to.
But do you think he has that pull and that weight to bring in players that United need? Because obviously, the great thing about this is Arsenal and United, bro, we've grown up seeing the rivalry,
Mm,
seeing the beef, seeing them times where we're challenging for titles. And the fall from grace, bro, has been unbelievable for both clubs. Obviously, Arsenal a little bit sooner than Manchester United, but it's been a mad fall, bro. And with the way United have been ran over the past, and that's normally just spending money and bringing players in it, building a squad like that. Now, with Ten Hag coming in, I have a feeling that that's not going to be the case. I don't think you're going to start seeing Galacticos at Manchester United and big, massive names. I feel like they're going to be doing a bit more like an Arsenal thing, Arteta, undercover, bring players in. But is that something that, I don't know whether you or most other United fans, is that what something you would accept? And how long, how much money would you give him before you think, right, that's it, he's not worked out?
I think I've always said this: to earn long-term respect from the fan base, you need short-term success in it. I think obviously the first year is going to be a pass. I think the season after that, so next season, we should be trying to push for top four. Because I've said this year, in my eyes, I think there's 4 better managers than Ten Hag in the league: Conte, Tuchel, Klopp, and Pep.
Yeah.
All those 4 managers have had this size longer, and let's be honest, like the teams are much better than ours. Which is why I've always said this: like, let's be realistic here. As much as we want top 4, I think 5th is probably reasonable if I had to choose where we were going to finish right now. Europa League is another story because anything could happen in a cup competition. But I think the signings are interesting because a lot of the people that we've been linked with are former Ajax players or current Ajax players, which I don't mind because I've always said this. If a manager's trying to implement any style of play, why not get players that are used to playing that style of play? But at the same time, like I think some United fans are frustrated with it's just all Ajax players.
Yeah, and you know what as well?
Anthony Ajax.
I believe as well, though. I also believe Ajax come out and have said that they're not going to let Ten Hag rage United for all their players and build his team based around the players at Ajax because they're not really in a financial difficulty as a club. You hear me? So Anthony's been linked. Lisandro Martinez has been linked, obviously, and they're 2 current players right now. Now Arsenal are after him as well. You get me? We've had a bid rejected. Personally, I feel like United will have the more of a pull because of Ten Hag with that deal. Because realistically, if you've just been playing for a manager, it's more likely you're going to go to that guy, innit? You get me? But is it where now Ten Hag can't get them players, but then who else is he going to go out and get? And has he got that pull to bring them to Manchester United with the current state that United are in?
You hope so, innit? Like, obviously, I think the key thing is now just selling projects because initially De Jong didn't want to come to United and apparently Ten Hag spoke to so the project. And I think that's the main thing I always say about players. My biggest problem is United, most of the players that come for money. And I'm not saying like these current players are not going to come for the money, but it has to be about the project as well. Because, for example, if Darwin Núñez came to Manchester United, he would have been on more money here than he would have been at Liverpool. But obviously, he chose Liverpool for the project.
No, I do hear that, bro. And you know what? Yeah, we got Marcel there saying Arsenal versus United Europa League final. Yeah,
I wouldn't want that, you know.
You know what? Yeah, I take that. I take it, bro.
Nah, man. The pressure of that game will be incredible because that's a social media classical.
Yeah, it is. It's a mad. It'd be absolutely mad. But I don't mind. In the final, bro. At the end of the day, in competitions like that, you got to beat the best to be the best in it. And realistically, bro, we've not even won that trophy, yo. Baines, we've been in this competition for like 3-4 years, yeah, maybe 5 even. Still not won it. You get me? Like, to me, that's a shame. That's a shambles, bro. And this is why, like, I am the way I am. I want Arsenal to strive for the best because I'm used to seeing Arsenal winning growing up, bro. I was here in Manchester beefing with all the Man United fans and that backing my thing to the fullest, bro. And now we become a laughing stock in a sense. Over this last season, I'm not going to lie, yeah, I wanted Arteta gone from the first 3 games, but the team did start to develop and show some signs. But for me, if you're acting like a big club and you're truly moving like a big club, sack the man, yeah, bring in an experienced man and build on what you've got now in it. You get me? However, I can understand them wanting to keep him because they're all friendly and it's good for the club and good for business because he fits that Arsene Wenger role. But we've never moved like a big club in a while. That's why I get frustrated with Arsenal Football Club. And it's another example of it is even this Lisandro Martinez. In my heart, I know that is more of a chance of him going to United than Arsenal. And maybe that is because of the manager. But if you're moving like a big club, put the money down and get the player before anyone else puts bids in.
I think with the Martinez situation, I think if Arsenal move quick to get him, because I said this, I only think United are signing a centre back if we can get rid of maybe 1 or 2. Because currently we have 6 centre backs on the books. Maguire's not leaving, Lindelof's not leaving, Varane's not leaving. Then it's Bailly, Phil Jones, and Axel Tuanzebe. If we can get rid of 1 or 2 of them.
Man said Phil Jones, you know, I can't believe you, man, has still got him, you know. I don't know
the problem
what's
with
going on.
Yeah?
That's a mad thing, bro. You think going to progress and tell man like him go.
The problem with Phil Jones here, he's on over £100,000 a week, innit?
Yeah.
So, like, no matter what people think of him, he's still on the books. Like, we're gonna have to get rid of a centre back to sign another one, and that's the problem now. Because if Arsenal
so we ain't going anywhere. He ain't going anywhere. So who's gonna go? Who do you think will go?
Bailly, I think, has been linked with a move away, potentially at 10 to 12 million euros, I think it was. Axel Tuanzebe, he's probably not on much money in it because he's from the academy and stuff, but
Yeah.
surely you can get a loan or a permanent move somewhere.
So what do you think United need then? What do you think? If you was the manager
Everything.
now, bro, if you was the manager, give me 5 players that you would bring into this club that you think will be reasonable signings at this time as well. Don't start bringing in Messi's and all of that are not going to come. Just the reasonable signings.
I think De Jong's obviously vital.
Yeah.
In that midfield. I think then we need someone alongside De Jong, like a bit more of a defense-minded midfielder. Someone like we'd be linked to Sangara, kind of.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be mad at that. We need a right winger because I don't want to see Rashford or Elanga play there. Obviously, we'll be linked with Anthony, but even then, I said this. I don't think Anthony's the perfect. I don't think he complements Jadon Sancho on the other side the best, innit? Because they're both ball to feet type players.
Yeah.
And you want a bit more like just something different, which is why I've always said this. I would love Sterling at United.
Yeah. He's got
Because
that
he's a United
injection
fan
of
as well,
pace.
but
And the United fan, is he?
yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a United fan, but obviously that's not going to happen. Then I think we need, oh my days, we need a centre back because we can't trust Rafa Varane with his injury record. Maguire, we know is not good enough, and Lindelof, people also have question marks on.
So who would you go for? Would you go for the Martinez kid, or would you sign somebody different?
I would like Martinez because obviously he knows that Ten Hag system. He's left-footed, which Timber isn't, which is obviously what we need a bit more. Incredible on the ball, and he's very, very aggressive. And I feel like we need that. We need that alongside Rafa Varane because Rafa Varane's like a passive defender.
Yeah.
So I think those two will complement each other.
I think you definitely do need a new centre back. I don't think Harry Maguire is getting anywhere the best out of Rafael Varane as well, because I believe when you're in a centre back partnership, you do need a good centre back next to you as well to like solidify that position. You get me? Because if he's playing shit, and he's letting in goals or whatnot, it just makes you look shit anyway. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what the problem is? Other than Jadon Sancho on the left-hand side, we need everything. Because in my eyes, I don't think David De Gea and Dean Henderson are good enough. Right back, Dalot, let's be honest, he hasn't really blown everyone away. Centre back, we need a centre back. Left back, don't get me started on Alex Telles, one of the worst Brazilians I've seen. And Luke Shaw, everyone knows, injury record, you can't trust the guy. We need 2 midfielders. People have question marks over Bruno anyway. And then obviously we need a right wing. And Ronaldo's 37. You're going to need someone at least backing up Ronaldo. Because in my eyes, Martial's probably not good enough.
It's a full rebuild. It's a full rebuild at Man United. And to be fair, like, this is where I look at Arsenal's situation and think, right, okay, if we do actually go out there and sign some experience now, there is a possibility that we can just have that little bit of a head start against United and start pushing back up there, get that 4th spot. For me, Europa League, we have to win it, bro. Like I'm saying, it's no point playing in there with the big boys and you can't even win the little trophy. So for me, we have to win that. And then the ruthlessness that we're moving in the market has given me some hope, Statman Baines. It's given me some hope because I don't think we would have been linked to players like Rafinha in the past or even players like Jesus. And I'm not saying, because we couldn't afford him in certain senses. I think it's just dealing with certain agents as well, bro. And that is a change at Arsenal. As an outsider, how do you think Arsenal's moving? What's your perspective on Arsenal at the moment?
I'm surprised. Like Jesus, I've always said this. I think Jesus is better off the right, innit? But at the same time, even up front, I always say this: the striker market's poor. Getting someone like Jesus for like less than 50 million, you should still be calm with it. Rafinha is a brilliant player. Would I want him at United? I don't. I still wouldn't want him. Just
why not?
I've always said this. I think Rafinha is a quality player, but having Rafinha and Bruno on the same side because they lose the ball too much in it will just annoy me.
Yeah, but I think Rafinha gives you that. Man need a player like that, man. Someone that's hungry, someone that's just so driven. And Bruno, he is for me, he's good in what he does in certain senses, but I just feel like he can be a player that could come off the bench and affect the game. Do you know what I'm saying? You need some proper solid players.
A Rafinha if we had maybe Donny van der Beek in attendance, but let's be honest, Bruno, he just signed a new contract. He's probably going to be the one starting, which is why I've always said no to Rafinha. And then that Vieira guy, don't know much about him, but like as an understudy to maybe Odegaard or even competing with him, his numbers were very good in Portugal. He's not a bad signing. And obviously, Saliba's coming back for you lot. Martinez, if you lot do sign him, I'm surprised. Like, he is quality business. Say if you can get a backup, fullback as well, because I don't think your depth in that area is good enough. Tavares is not good enough, and Cedric, like, I don't think it's good enough either, kind of thing. Even though he might have had like a decent purple badge last season.
Yeah. I agree. To be honest with you, I feel like the place that we need to focus on is up front. Get me? We let Aubameyang go in January. We didn't replace him, and vitally that cost us, bro. He went to Barcelona, bagged in 14 goals, and we didn't replace them goals in the team. I wasn't against letting him go because I feel like over the years we haven't learned our lesson on when to let players go. You get me? But I wouldn't have let him go, not replacing him. And I think that was a massive blow. Look, all we needed to do really was win 1-2 games. And I'm telling you now, he would have won us 1 or 2 games with his goals, bro. And that would have got us in the Champions League. And then we would be shopping in a different market. And we'll be more comfortable in that market as well. You get me? It'll give you a bit of balls about yourself going in a deal and that, not going into a deal, knowing you're in the Europa League and thinking, Ras, I'm having to put a sales pitch to this guy. I'm giving this guy millions of pounds and I'm having to sell my ass off to him, you get me? Which shouldn't be the case at clubs like Arsenal and United, bro. And we got Vieira in. People are saying he looks silky on the ball, but he's lightweight and he's the bulk up. I agree with that also. Go on, Ben.
Is there anyone else? What do you think about Tielemans as well? Because Tielemans has obviously been linked to Villa.
Do you know what? It's cooled down a little bit, the talks on him. But for me, I still want him, bro. I would take him or I'll take Neves. I think them two players, I think either or, I definitely have him in the squad because they'll give us that progressiveness moving forward, bro, and that creativity, like passing through the lines. And it's just something we're lacking. When you're watching Arsenal Football Club play football, bro, it's just sideways passing, like it's either going down the wings. There's only really certain 1-2 tactics. The back end of the season, when Odegaard started to get into a bit of form, we start seeing a bit more play through the middle of the park. But we can't really damage and break teams down through the middle of the pitch like we used to when we had Santi Cazorla and players of that sort, Fabregases and Nazaris and players like that. So that's something I want to see change. And I feel like if Tielemans did come in, I think he would add that quality. He's still young. He's hungry because he wants to leave Leicester because he sees Leicester are stumbling now. He wants a new challenge. Only thing I doubt about him is his willingness to run and stuff like that. But again, that might just be down to his head dropping because his heart's not at Leicester no more, bro. But if we got him in, I'd be happy to get rid of Xhaka, playing him alongside Partey and having Odegaard or Smith Rowe as the 10. Mixing them. I won't play Smith Rowe on the left, bro. I'll free up that position and I'd use him as a 10. But now we got this Vieira kid. I can't really see that happening, personally.
What do you think about Saka now that Rafinha signed or potentially signing? You think that means Saka goes to the left?
No, I don't think it goes to the left. I think it's an option in games. It's an option for him to move there, and it gives us some diversity. But I feel like that's a signing that's to only help develop Saka as well and push him. Because you tell me now how many other players can actually come into that position from the Premier League and actually make Saka that's better than Saka or on par with Saka. There's not really many of him. And the ones that are, we can't get them to come to Arsenal Football Club, bro. You get me? So he needs that level of competition to push to the next level, I think. I think it would help him.
And Saka played way too much last year. Way too much from the outside. Like, it seemed like this guy you were very reliant on him. And obviously, as a young player, sometimes you just need a rest.
Yeah.
And obviously, your backup option was Nicolas Pepe, who's obviously potentially leaving if someone pays the money.
Do you know what, though? I think Arteta hasn't handled the Pepe situation right, because I feel like if Pepe's got a bit more game time and a few more chances in the team, he would be more motivated. And Caesar prior to last, bro, he was like our leading goal scorer in a sense. And there is a player in there, but he's not really had them consistent game times under any manager, really.
You utilize Pepe correctly. Like, I don't see him as like a touchline winger. I see him as like an inside forward kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you could do that. I think you can even. I think there was opportunity at times when we had no striker, Lacazette was injured and stuff like that. We played Martinelli up front, which I'm not against at all, but there was opportunity there to put Pepe up front. For Lille, he used to play in that position. You get me, like a false 9 kind of player, and he never really got the opportunity at Arsenal. I just think his time's done now. If we signed Rafinha, 9 out of 10, there's some sort of deal wrapped up for him elsewhere because Arsenal ain't going out there spending mad beans. When do you see us going out there? Well, to be fair, I say that, but I'll speak about some figures in a minute. But it's not like Arsenal to go out there, spend 150 mil one season, come and spend another 200 mil one season. And is all of these links, is it all just talk and getting people's prices up for better moves elsewhere? It wouldn't surprise me as well, bro, because we've been that club and that fan base that's waiting till transfer deadline day, refreshing, bro. That's all we do. And I'm telling you, bro, it becomes jarring. All we want to see is fucking man come through the door, rapid, have a pre-season, and hit the Premier League with the
Give
ground
the manager no excuses.
Give the manager no excuses, man.
Like I've said this, like next season, that's it for Arteta, innit? If you don't get top 4 in might as well Champions League football. If I'm an Arsenal fan, I would want him gone, kind of thing, innit? I feel like this is his 3rd, 4th season, I think.
Bro, it'll be his 3rd full season. You get me?
That's
not good enough.
Come on, man. Like people might think Arteta's done a good job. I've always said this, and maybe
it's not good enough, bro.
No, but like in terms of he might have been the manager before the manager to get top 4, kind of thing, innit? He's reached his ceiling now.
Yeah.
Go get someone else. Like before Ten Hag was obviously taken. Go get a Ten Hag. Go get a... Who else is really there? I know this is unrealistic, but Pochettino kind of thing.
You know what? I'd go for a Mancini, me.
Yeah, that's a very good shot as well.
I'd go for a Mancini. Reason why is he's won the Euros, he's won the Premier League, he's manager of experience. He's he sits at that old table. You get me? Where when the man is sitting at that old table and checkbooks are coming out and all of that, bro, that's happening with him. He has them kind of links, and I feel like he's a man who can get hold of a dressing room properly and build a proper a team to compete. And I think him, Simeone, he might need a new challenge. Might need
Simeone. The problem is, I think he's the highest paid coach in the world, isn't it?
Don't lie, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, he's on mad money.
Serious? Why? What's he on?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, he was like the highest paid coach in the world.
No way. But so that's it then. He's going to keep holding his balls on the touchline and staying at Atletico Madrid, innit? You get me, bro? But I wouldn't mind him though. But I think a Mancini is a possible shout. I think if you go to Mancini, put an offer on the table, say to him, right, look, we're going to give you 200 mil. Look, they've given Arteta nearly 300 mil if they spend if they spend a good 150, 200 mil here, bro, they've blown past 300 mil. So they can go to him, say, look, we'll give you 300 mil, come back to the Premier League and just take us back to where we need to be belonging. And I can't see him really turning that down because international football is boring, bro. You get me? Like, it is boring, innit? And after this World Cup's done, what else is he really going to... Exactly, but after this World Cup is actually done, though, like, there's not really anything significant after that, so you might as well just pack it in anyway.
How do you feel about Arsenal then giving Arteta the new contract?
Sorry, say that again.
Arteta getting a new contract before.
Oh, bro, I don't even know why you asked me that question, bro. I've been trying to... You know what it is, bro? I just know these fuckers ain't going to sack him, innit? So I can't keep getting myself wound up, bro, about him being there, innit? So I've got to just try to go with it. But in my heart and my head, bro, I don't want my man at the club because I can't see him picking up a Premier League trophy, bro. I can't see him picking up a Champions League trophy. He might one day, but I think that day is going to be well too soon for Arsenal Football Club, bro. We've been waiting for fucking 18 years, 19 years, bro, for anything significant. You get me? So I wasn't on it, bro. At the end of the day, I said, wait till the end of the season. If he gets top 4, it's fair to give him that contract. If he doesn't get top 4, move on from him. You get me? And also, it gives the man an incentive as well, bro. You get me? Like, it's like, if you worked in sales before and like these managers and that, they'll give you an incentive or whatnot. You get me? Now, if you're going to the guy and you're giving him the prize before the actual job's done, he's not going to have that same hunger to reach that target. If he's thinking, now, my house is on this, my fucking career, everything's on me getting top 4, best believe you're getting 110% out of him. So I tell you now.
I've said this, and I don't know how long Arteta had in his contract, but I said this when Oli got the contract. No good team's going to be after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So what was the point of giving him the new contract? It's not like Bayern Munich are going to come for him that you're going to be worried. Just let him see out the contract and see where things go from there. With Arteta, just let him see out his contract. If he deserves it, then fair play. If he doesn't, part ways.
And
And
you
I
know
don't know
what,
why
Bane?
these teams don't do that.
That is the most logical thing to do. And I can see that, you can see that, yeah. There's something not right with this club, bro. And it starts from the top. Because see these owners, fam, they're not even there to watch the games. They're not there in the club's good times. They're not there in the club's bad times, bro. They don't give a fuck about our club. And when something like that is running your football club, bro, the only hope we've got is a manager to come in, take the reins like a Wenger and a Fergie, and just do a madness like a Klopp has done at Liverpool in a sense, really. Because, bro, growing up, Liverpool was shit to me. Obviously, I'm not that old to see when they were in the glory days, but growing up, bro, they weren't that great. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's just, it feels like it's catchphrase 22 with us. Like we're on a roundabout where we'll get buzzing over a few signings, but then we'll never add the correct amount of other signings to it to then push forward. And I'm just hoping with the amount of players that we've been linked to at the start of this window, they are showing signs of being proactive, bro. But then again, they're bringing in players like Marquinhos, 19, young from Brazil. This Project Youth is not going to work, bro. You got to have experience in the team as well, fam. You get me?
So I don't know much about Marquinhos if he's going to go into your like under 21 team or whatever. But if he's part of the first team setup, then I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans kind of criticize Project Youth in terms of it takes the pressure off the manager. Because it always like, oh, these players are going to develop. These players are going to develop. And it's kind of like, what about the now? We need results from now. We need top four. Like, if Arsenal don't get top four this year, I'll be so disappointed if I was an Arsenal fan.
Do you know what it is, though, being? See a lot of the fan base, bro, and it's the truth. It's not even a lot. It's most of the fan base. Like, I'm a minority, you get me, where when I see shit, I call it out straight away, you get me? Or if I'm feeling a certain way, I'm going to just say it as it is. To be fair, a lot of man, even if we got fifth this season, yeah, and got to the final of the Europa League, yeah, got to the quarters of the FA Cup, they'll still be willing to give him another chance. Where is the ambition, bro? You get me?
I think I said it at the start of the season. I think I predicted Arsenal 8th, innit? But like, obviously, you have to take into consideration context. You were in the top four with what, 4 weeks to go? Is a massive disappointment kind of thing, innit? But obviously, I think from the outside, if you told me Arsenal would have finished 5th, I would have been like, you know what? Fair play, innit? But then that's why context is very important.
I didn't expect us to finish 5th as well, bro. I didn't expect us. But when you're so close to getting that 4th, bro,
you'll be disappointed.
And you've had ample opportunity to bounce on it, bro, then you fucked up in it. Then you really fucked up. And I've said it even on my AFTV interview at Newcastle, bro. We've absolutely fucked it here. Absolutely fucked it. And there's no one else to blame, bro, but the manager in it. When it comes down to it, we didn't buy in January. Ultimately, that has fucked us royally. Because if we would have brought in January or we would have kept Aubameyang, guaranteed we would have won probably another 2 games or grinded out a few points in the games that we lost. We were losing games on the bounce. I also stated after the City loss, get rid of him and bring Conte in. You get me? There was opportunity there for Conte to come. If we would have went in there and made that move, Baines, I'm telling you now, we'd be in the top 4.
Yeah, you probably would. Like I've said it with Conte at Tottenham now. I think they've got minimum 3rd racked up. I think they're above Chelsea now the way that I view them as a club. Because obviously Chelsea need a lot in it.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what Conte does now.
Yo, Chelsea are in a madness, bro. What do you think's going to happen to them now? They're going to be shaking the piggy bank about.
We'll see, innit? We'll see. Like, they need to go through a massive rebuild as well. I've said this. They need defenders because they've lost a lot. They probably need a backup wing back. They need another midfielder because, let's be honest, Kante injury prone. Jorginho had a couple, like, he was struggling a bit last year.
Rudy is gone.
Yeah, their front line is pathetic anyway. So they're going through a mini rebuild as well. And I think people kind of... It could be interesting with Chelsea next year.
You know what? I was surprised, bro, because I actually thought Lukaku would come back to the league and actually fire on all cylinders because I thought, you know what? My man's left United. He's gone there. He's lost a bit of weight. He's got back into shape. And it's a good chance him coming back in with the players Chelsea have got in midfield to come and start firing. And what a flop he's been, bro. What a waste of money he's been to that club. And if he was to get sold now, how much do you reckon he would get sold for?
Can't lie, Lukaku still has like a decent goal record, in it. So I still think it will be above 60.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say
Like,
no more than 60.
like, say whatever you want about Lukaku, yeah, he still has a reasonable track record, didn't he? He scores goals. Like, did he not finish Chelsea's top scorer this year as well in all comps? Like, don't get me wrong, I think he
Might be. I
against.
thought Mason Mount's been scored a few for them, hasn't he?
I don't know. I swear someone told me he finished Chelsea's top scorer in all
I don't know.
comps.
I don't even really look at them like that. You get me?
like,
So he probably did.
he might have like stat padded against that Chesterfield or something, innit? But he still kind of did get goals. Obviously for United, in his first season, he done well. Second season wasn't the best kind of thing. Inter Milan, he was brilliant.
I want to ask you, Baines, what's your stance on Martial, bro?
Martial?
Yeah, would you have him back at United and would you play him? Or even with Rashford, do you think Rashford will stay as well? Because they're two players that I think and feel don't really have a future at United.
I think Rashford stays because obviously academy tax is on. You have to take that into consideration. With Rashford, one last chance in it. This is your last chance. In my last season, frustrating as hell. And when I mean frustrating, it's not even in terms of he's not getting the goals or he's not getting the assist. Track him back. Help your fullback out. The basics. He's walking around the pitch. You can't be doing that. Which is why he frustrated me. Martial, he's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think we probably do need to get rid of Martial, but at the same time, who's paying money for these players? Like, this guy's on over £250,000 a week. Why would you leave? Like, his loan at Sevilla. Yeah, his loan at Sevilla wasn't the best. But at the same time, like I've always said this, I don't rate the striker market. There's not a striker that I'm willing to pay 40, 50 million pounds for. So if Martial wants to be a bench player and rotate with Cristiano Ronaldo when in the Europa League, for example, you kind of have to make that sacrifice.
But do you think he's got that quality, though, that United need? Do you not think that you man need to move on from these kind of players to build something in you? Because the moment you have these, you keep one about this, you keep one, it's just going to look like the same kind of squad. I have a feeling, that United are trying to get players in, but they can't get them through the door. And I don't know whether that's the situation they're in. Obviously, you've got to think he's finished like 11 points behind us, bro, with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
That's a madness. When you deep the situation, you were going up to challenge for the league.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem for me is that players out there, like, you know how clubs run, they have to balance the books and stuff, innit? But when half of these, like, how is Dean Henderson over £100,000 a week? Like, what backup keepers on that much money?
Nah, they are daft, innit? This is what I'm trying to say.
And then that's why, like, we can't sell players. Like, how do you sell these lot? Who's going to pay the wages? Like, even Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson went on loan to Forest now, yeah? There's no obligation to buy or option to buy or anything. Apparently, it's just a loan. Yeah.
Just get him off the wage bill.
Yeah, and apparently United are paying some of the wages as well. Which makes sense, because what, you think Forest are going to pay over £100,000 a week for a keeper?
That's what man's doing on FIFA and that, trying to hustle for wages and that, you get me? The max you're getting, is 60%, I'm telling you now. But fucking one more thing, on Martial, bro. Do you believe in him though? Do you like him? Do you think the fans will accept him back in, or do you think that it's like people in general feel like that book's closed? Because I'm an opposing fan, bro. When I look at Martial, I just see that chapter closed.
The way I look at, I've always said this with him and Rashford. What made these players so good? It was their directness. When Martial was playing on the left, he was so direct. Up front, when Martial was playing at his best, he was a very, very good finisher. Like, he got 17 non-penalty goals in the Premier League 2 seasons ago. But at the same time, like, do they have those attributes? And in my eyes, the answer is no, which is why I've always said this. If an offer came in for Martial, I would sell him. If an offer came in for Rashford, I'm probably looking to sell him as well. But the offers are not coming.
No, but like I said, they've shot themselves in the foot. But maybe they want to start looking at what Arsenal's doing now. You get me? And that's just trying to, like, end the contract by mutual consent. You get me? Or
if you know that's not going to happen, isn't it? Like, the thing is, like, if Martial had gone to Sevilla and maybe got 5 to 10 goals, it would have been like, there's something there. But I think he got 1 league goal. And obviously, the problem with Martial massively is injury record.
Yeah.
He picks up too many of those niggles, and it just doesn't help a player to get into rhythm. And it doesn't help, like, for example, United selling him in terms of why would a team want to play on big wages that's injury prone?
Oh, I do hear that. It's like Kieran Tierney, bro, for us. Like, I love Kieran Tierney, bro. I feel like he's an absolute bad man of a player because I just love everything he stands for, bro. Like, he's the first man out. He's just, Yo, trust me, man. My man's got good character to him in it, and he's not only that, he's a good player. Since we've had him in that position, bro. I've not really felt uncomfortable when he's playing, and it takes a type of player to make you not feel uncomfortable when you're watching him, or you're thinking you can rely on him in it. But the problem is he gets injured too much, and for me, if he wasn't injured, I'd put him captain of Arsenal Football Club straight away, bro. You get me? Because he's got that Scottish fight in him, bro. And I'm telling you now, yeah, for me, even when he plays in the Scottish team with Robertson, he looks like he's outperforming him. So,
You know,
real quality.
another problem with these players is in terms of like from a fan is how many chances you guys won. Like both Rashford and Martial have been here from LVG days. Like LVG now, Jose, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now obviously Ten Hag. Like, come on, man. Like we can't keep
Ralph
giving
as well.
Ragnick. We can't keep giving a manager excuse in terms of you guys need good coaches. Sometimes you just have to look at yourself and you're not good enough. Like with Rashford, I've always said this: there's no excuse for not walking. For not running. So how are you walking on the pitch? And once that gets called out on TV by Gary Neville and stuff, I was like, bro, finally you guys have said it because everyone can see it. This guy doesn't help the full back out.
Doesn't help him out, and it just feels. Do you know what it is? It because players get too comfortable as well, Beans. Do you know when you're being at a club for a long time, yeah, you start getting comfortable. You start thinking like everyone's your friend, you own the show and all that, and then that's when you start losing hunger and desire for the actual thing that you're doing. And to be fair, bro, he's a Manchester lad in it. Like, man's from Manchester. I know what man are on in it. Like, it's very easy to lose motivation in certain senses, and with Rashford, I just feel like he didn't really believe in Ralph Ragnick, and I don't think he agreed with a lot of the situation that was going on at United, and I think that just told in his performances, and I think the fans have got onto that. He might have fighted back a few times or whatnot, but I feel like there is a player in there, but I just can't see him flourishing at United now with after the performances and him being really exiled out of the team. Where does he come back in?
Like I've always said this here, like in my personal opinion, obviously I want Rashford to work out, I want Martial to work out, but especially Rashford, I feel like he kind of needs to leave the country kind of thing, innit? And just have a completely new challenge and kind of find that urge to perform to a high enough level again. Because like, let's be honest, like his reputation, because of all the stuff that he does, is massive. That's why you're still gonna have another chance at United. England, if Rashford scores 5 goals in his first like 10 games, he's back in the England squad.
Yeah, I suppose so. In as well, they look how big players are, and but he's got an MBE or something as well, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, like even my mum's near Witherton as well. He's got a memorial sprayed, so it's one of them. He has done good for the community, and he has done good for people in it. So he is a good guy. But I just feel like sometimes you need to move on from certain chapters, and I think United and Rashford, I think, unless Ten Hag can bring him back and give him that motivation where you're seeing an older Rashford, I don't think he's good enough for Manchester United, bro, to be honest, because you got to have that level of consistency about you to play like, teams like United and Arsenal.
If you want to stay on the bench, go ahead kind of thing, innit? But at the same time, you still need to make an impact off the bench. I've always said this. The best of Martial and Rashford we saw when they were on the left-hand side competing with one another before we signed Alexis Sanchez. Because like none of them had really, you could argue, nailed down a pace. But it was always, if Rashford started, Martial might come off the bench to score goals, and vice versa. Like, that competition between them two on the left-hand side was brilliant.
Yeah, it was decent.
But I think under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, probably most of these players just got too comfortable. And then it's about your kind of how much you're motivated yourself. And that's why even towards the end of the season under Ralph, the only one performing was Ronaldo. Because Ronaldo actually has self-pride. Like people,
he's got that level of professionalism Ronaldo
like,
has as well.
People can call him egotistical all you want. Yeah, at least he's playing for himself. Because a lot of these players didn't even play for themselves towards the end of the season.
Do you not think Ronaldo coming into the team? Because I've spoke to many United fans as well, being from Manchester, and a lot of them do say that Ronaldo coming into the team did cause a big unbalance in the squad. And obviously, they feel like
I'll be honest,
it had an impact in a bad way in a certain sense. I don't know where you stand on it.
I think we needed it. Like, these
shake it up.
Yeah, these players are just too comfortable. Like all of these players are a bunch of losers in the nicest possible way. None of these players.
Don't say it in the nicest way, bro. Yeah, say it in the harshest way, bro.
None of these players can chat to a Ronaldo or a Varane coming into the club. Like, humble yourselves. We haven't won a trophy in like 5 years. And then people complain about Cristiano Ronaldo.
I'm sure it
How you
sucks.
doing that? Listen,
No, you be trying to do the lefty and shave off a year and that.
listen, we're rounding in it to the nearest 5. That's what we're
Say
doing.
no more.
Yeah, but
Right.
like that's what I said. Like people, you can't chat to Ronaldo. Ronaldo's done his job in terms of
Mm.
he's got his 18 Premier League goals. Go on.
Yeah. So who do you think is going to be more ambitious in the window then? Do you reckon Arsenal's going to be more ambitious? Do you reckon United's going to be more ambitious? Who do you think's going to go and get them players that are going to try to... Obviously, I think we're both at different levels in the sense of you're going to have to start building more of a foundation, but you have got players there where you should be in a better position that you have. Realistically, you had man like Pogba, Varane, Ronaldo. So obviously, is that just the case of the players letting the manager down or just not a good enough manager, bro? And
I think it's both in it because let's be honest, like Ralph, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they're not the best of managers. The players are crap within, like crap as well, innit? But at the same time, I've always said this: we saw the worst possible version of these players. Harry Maguire was shocking last season. Luke Shaw was shocking. Rashford was shocking. McTominay's always been crap. But in terms of like, even if you just get a better structure as a side, you're gonna look better. If our defenders have more protection in front of them, they're gonna look better. Because I've always said this: how can Varane just look like a decent player at Real? And let's be honest, at United, his first season wasn't the best. Like every single time, like these are in 1v1 situation because our midfield don't protect them properly. Our wingers not tracking back. Like as a defender, I would feel sorry for you.
no, I
Which
do
is
hear
why
that.
I'm like, let's see.
I feel like that's something Arteta has changed about Arsenal. Like, I don't feel like we're gonna, even though our defensive record isn't great, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it's not great this season. But I remember seasons ago where we're playing, a man's shaking, bro. Man's literally just thinking, what's going on here? This, that, and the other, thinking, oh, in a minute we're gonna concede. I'm less nervy now, and I feel like that's due to some of the system that he has implemented in the pressing and getting the players to really connect with each other and work for each other. That's something that he has brought to the club, and you can see it. It has developed, but I do feel Arsenal are going to move a little bit more aggressive in the market to United because I feel like Ten Hag's just coming in. He's got to find his feet, settle, and I think you'll probably see a different transfer market second half of the season to United. I don't know if you agree with that.
I said this: Ten Hag hasn't even had a training session. Like you're judging, Ten Hag's judging these players on footage that he's seen, and maybe something that Ralph might have told him. That's it. Like he still has to evaluate the squad himself, which is obviously a massive disadvantage when you're comparing him to other managers because they've seen their squads. Which is why I've always said, like,
what do you think of that then? What Marcel said there, eh? Varane had Ramos carrying him. He was.
I wouldn't say he was out carrying him, but obviously Sergio Ramos is one of the best defenders of our generation, kind of thing.
Quality.
Like playing alongside him and obviously having Casemiro in front of him, you're gonna have your defensive structures a lot better. This guy has Scott McTominay protecting him, and don't get me started, Scott McTominay. He's one of the worst football. Like people rate him because let's be honest, he's from the academy and stuff, but there's nothing good about him, kind of thing, isn't it?
But I think people rate his desire in it. I think that's what people rate in it. I think they rate his desire. But to be fair, bro, we've grown up. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've grown up looking at United thinking, right, that's one of our, if not our biggest rival at points, because Tottenham were really nowhere to be seen. Arsenal, United were going at it. You had players, quality players, and even when you brought Varane in and players like that, bro, these were high caliber players at the time. United don't really tend to do that now. They're bringing in Dan James, man like that, you know, and even like Fred, I feel like, he might be your best midfielder, but I don't think he's good enough. I don't feel like half a United squad is good enough. I feel like there's got a few players in there that have got quality and good ability, but they haven't been managed right. And United just need to go out there and spend some money, which is possible.
I've always said this is a massive like mismatch of systems as well, big up Jay. Because I've always said this, like, how can, like, for example, if Pep leaves here, the next manager they get in after Pep is still going to play a similar type of football. If you're looking at our previous managers, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Jose, LVG, all play different types of football.
Yeah.
So if you're signing a player for that manager, the next manager, that player might not suit because it's a completely different style of play. Which is why, for example, say now you're going to give Ten Hag a massive say in transfers and stuff. Fine. The next manager that you bring in after Ten Hag has to play a similar style of football. Because otherwise you're going to have to reset again. And what's the point of continuously doing that as a football club? You're going to waste money. And Richard Arnold even said it. We spent £1 billion over the last 10 years. You cannot tell me where the £1 billion being spent.
But do you know what it is with United as well? They look commercially as well. I'm not saying all
Mm.
clubs don't, but United do look at most. Like realistically, if Fergie was here, would he re-sign Ronaldo at 36?
Mm.
I'm not sure of that. You get me? But they look at it and think, right, okay, we'll get Ronaldo in, regardless if he does well or not, regardless of the wages we give him, we'll just make the money off the back of his shirt.
Mm.
You get me? Which, to be fair, in a business sense, it's good, but it's not good for the fans. You get me? Because it might not be Ronaldo today. It might be someone dead tomorrow. You get me?
Like
And then,
you need a plan kind of thing, innit?
yeah, of course, man. You
And
need
you
to.
can't just, like, don't get me wrong, like I've said this with the Ronaldo thing, I didn't have a problem because in my eyes, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you had the younger lot, you had to win now. There was no excuse for not winning that season or this season. Because the season before you got to the Europa League final and lost embarrassingly, you had to win. Like title, whether people think these players are good enough or not, you won your third season. We need a title. We need a trophy minimum.
Now you do, bro. I'm telling you, now you're getting like us. Do you remember when we didn't win that trophy like for like 9 years, and it was like, oh, the FA Cup, and we won it. Like there was a massive weight lifted off our shoulders because we won a trophy. Because after the league, we didn't win nothing, and it was one of them. And it feels like what United coming 6 years in, maybe coming up 7 years next season. Because I can't see you really winning anything significant next year.
Like,
I'll be honest.
I've said this, I would take a League Cup or Europa League. Like I've said this, in my eyes, a massive problem with this side is mentality. Obviously, there's a couple of people's mentality you can't question. Ronaldo's won everything in the game. But the rest of these don't need a trophy. These don't need that sense of winning, which I think this squad lacks massively, which is why like, even when people say no to the League Cup, I'm like, how can you say no when we haven't won anything? Like, we're not that good that you can say no to a trophy.
No, I win everything, me. At the end of the day, a trophy's trophy. For me, in my eyes, you're the biggest. Whoever's got the most trophies is the biggest club in a sense. You get me?
Yeah.
And that is just how it is because I'm very old school the way my thinking is, and that's just the way it is, bro.
Like
for me,
look how, for example, Pep targets the League Cup.
Yeah.
And then you're telling me a club like Manchester United who haven't won a trophy in how many years, you say no to that.
And that helps you believe again. That helps you start believing. Look, Arsenal didn't win fuck all for 9 years. Yeah, we won the FA Cup, then we won like 4 in like the space of 5-6 years. So it does help you believe, and it gives like City a prime example of it as well. Like City never used to just play their kids in that tournament. City used to go in, play their full squad, and wipe the floor with, man, because it keeps that level of consistency that you need. It keeps people scared. At the end of the day, when Arsenal and United used to roll in town back in the day, bro, man was shitting themselves. You get me? Now, Arsenal and United rolling in town, man are rubbing their hands together saying, oh, get the baby or yell out, lads. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, this is what it is. But Bainesy, man, I'm telling you, we're coming up to the end of the stream now, people. But I just want to say, make sure you smash a like on the video, people. I appreciate you tuning in and engaging in the chat, people. If you leave comments afterwards, I'll also try to comment back to that as well. If you don't know Statman Baines, go check him out. Obviously, his links will be down there somewhere. But yeah, people. But just before we do go, Baines, let me just ask you, who's going to win the Premier League first, Arsenal or United?
Ooh. United.
Okay.
We have a bit of manager now, innit?
That's an optimistic fan. That, to be honest, the way we move, I'd probably say United in the sense because financially, I know that they will go out there and buy big players. But as it stands, if
we ain't winning a league anytime soon.
Nah. Wishful thinking, bro. Wishful thinking, yo. We don't wish. You don't know it.
Like someone said, Newcastle winning before you. I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
Oh, Marcel, man, don't do us like that. Don't do us like that.
No, but it's true though.
It is.
You know, last season we were closer to 18th than we were to Man City.
What? Sorry?
We were closer to 18th in the league than we were to Man City.
Disrespect that. Absolute disrespect, I'm telling you. But you know what, though? United deserve it as well. You know why? Because their fans, over the years have been absolute fucking knobheads, mate. I'm telling you now for a fact.
I can't lie. I've always said this, though. You see with fan bases, like, every single fan base has those deluded people in it. Like, just, for example, our fan base, those top reds, no matter what happens, no matter how crappy it gets, these lot are still singing the manager's name. Yeah. Like, we were losing 5-0 to Liverpool, and these lot are still singing about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Do you know what it is, though? It's a lot of people are just deluded as well, innit? They just, you got to think as well, Beans, this is what I was saying to next man as well, that people go to the game, they're getting hammered, they're getting whiffed up out their head and all of that, and they're just on a hype train, innit? You get a little group of them everywhere, But it is what it is, though.
And
But
then you lose
people,
a couple games, and then
Oh,
this Glazers out or Kroenke's out.
you know what, though? Get the fucking Cronkies out. I'm telling you now, yeah. And you know what? Yeah, I don't know about yous. I'm not really asked about yous in a sense. But, bro, we do need our owners out. You get me? And I just want a sugar daddy in it. I don't want our owners out if we're going to get someone broker than him, someone who's going to do less than him. I only want to get our owners out if we're going to get man.
The Saudis.
Like Newcastle, exactly. Get me Newcastle's cousin or auntie or uncle or bibby or whatever it might be, yeah. Get him, sign him up, yeah. And that's it. But yo, Baines, love for coming on the show. We're gonna have to do a few more shows because honestly, it was a good one today. But people, make sure you're liking the content and make sure you're subscribing if you're new people. But peace out, and we'll see you on the next one.